If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor look too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life for broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at the beginning, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are done, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 40 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to refine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
That's right, folks. Mature audiences only. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show today. How are you guys? How are you doing out there? What is new in your world today? For me, not much is new, actually. Just been, doing my chores, getting things done, trying to be a good dude, trying to be a good dad, all of the above. It is the Dayshift show, and we are going to talk about some good old-fashioned politics and the country and where we're going and just the nature of the society that we live in today. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some people up in a little while. It's going to devolve into madness and chaos, more than likely. And your guys are going to enjoy it. As always, I have to turn on my shill stream button for a moment, guys. It costs me money to do the podcast. You hear me say this every show. But if you guys can afford to donate, please do so. If you are waiting for swag, it is coming. I just talked to the guy this morning. He's actually telling me that maybe before Christmas, but obviously orders are ramping up. People are buying stuff right now, getting ready for the holidays, and he's going to be gone for the holidays. Might be first of the year. I'm going to stay on top of him and and offer him a little bonus if we get it done in time. I really want the hats done. I really want you guys to have those before Christmas. I'm working to make that happen. Welcome to Chris Lestrange. I see you out there. See, Teriak is in the house today. That's awesome. He's not usually not usually up at this hour, I don't think. And I see Ghost 1978 was the first person in chat again today. I think he just stays logged in and just as soon as I post the stream, he hits the in the chat button. We've got 13 Bujicon and Mr. Boulay as well in the house tonight. Mr. Boulay, obviously top mod, gets it done for me and keeps the riffraff on the low. I see I see that we have Real Deal Prime in the house today. I'm not familiar with you, sir, but welcome to the show. Frank Black is back in the house as well. Tiki Tack has made an appearance already. It's early for him as well, I think. But good on him. TVT, the Vengeful Truther, is in the house, and we like it when he's around. He keeps things exciting as well. And obviously, Kevin, my buddy. What if you're immature and still want to watch? Well, Kevin, we won't tell anyone this one time. Anson Knowles is here. He doesn't like fun today. He wants to straight up. Tiki Tack is gifted 5 memberships. Please enjoy those. The people that get them, they are awesome. And make sure that if you are a member, try to stay a member. It does help the show, and it's less than a cup of coffee per month. All right. Chris Lestrange, as I mentioned earlier, is in the house. Chris is probably still reeling over that the second L that I handed him on Verbal Combat. I don't know how Chris managed to let the Blockhead Brick win VK, but he did. That's okay. Don Parker, good to see you. I believe I've seen you in here before. Welcome back, sir. Two Wills is back in the house. Lewis, I see you out there. Rude Mud Crab, good to see you out in the chat today. I'm glad that you're here. If you would like to come up later, we can arrange that. And anti-minute, whatever. Got a membership from Tiki Tack, as well as Joseph Newton. And Big Jake's Ranch is in the house. I see out there. Dano in doing some mod duty today. And unfortunately, VK is very much a popularity contest, but it's okay. It's okay, Chris. It's okay. I got you. You're a popular guy. It's the mustache, really. It really is. So, you guys, welcome to the show. Again, if you can afford to donate, please do so. Super chats, TTS has been lowered to $10. I've been keeping that way for the last few weeks. People seem to enjoy that. So $10 and up triggers the TTS. For some reason last night we had a misfire. One did not trigger last night, and one was really slow to trigger last night. I'm not really sure why. Hopefully that's just a bug in the system. And also, as always, if you do super chat, please try and use Streamlabs. Streamlabs works great, and I get more of the actual money, and YouTube doesn't rob me of 30%. Interestingly enough, I make almost no money off of YouTube. I would say that I have heavy YouTube demonetization because of the subject matter that I often cover and the way that I speak and the things that I show. However, I don't think that's true. I just don't think YouTube, I just don't think I get enough views on YouTube or whatever. And I think my grand total with YouTube for the last 6 months is probably under $100 in ad revenue. So it's all about the donos. It's all about the super chats. It's all about the memberships. That's the only way this show gets any funding through YouTube. And this is becoming more and more like an actual job, guys. It really is. So Getz withdrew as Attorney General nominee. Interesting. That's I hadn't read that yet, Adamant. I will have to look at that. Yeah, it does actually cost money. It just broke. I hadn't seen it. I wonder where he's going to go, because he is all about staying in the mix. And I had heard that he had already submitted his resignation to DeSantis. So that's yeah. Chris Lestrange is he's going to throw me some cope here. I like it though. It's the best cope I've seen all morning. Brick has 700 subs, which is more than 4 times your shitty 160. Guys, put Lestrange's channel in the chat, and guys, go over and subscribe to him. You can do that. It costs you nothing to be nice. I'm not way more popular over on VK, man. Those guys, they come for me hardcore, bro. They come for me hardcore, which is fine. I don't care. The one guy was really bad. So, but yeah, you guys go help Chris Lestrange out. Bricky is just funny, Chris, and I don't think, and this is one of the problems with a show like VK, is it's so much a show. Like, he basically, when I was on there, he didn't even actually debate anyone. He just made fun of them. He never had a position. He never actually made a point. And it was funny. It was hilarious. I loved every minute of it. But he should not have won the night I was on. I'm sure he should not have won the other night. What can you do? It's a popularity contest, and he made him laugh. Grit, Imperious, no, you may not make fun of people. Oh, you think that's what's up, Anson? Yeah, everybody, somebody's Chris, get the mods your channel, and we'll spam that out there. We'll get you out there. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Ticky Tack. He doesn't make any points. He just shit talks, and he's funny, and that is why VK is more of a popularity contest than it is a debate. Anson Knowles makes an excellent point here. Getz will be running for Marco's open Senate seat. I'm sure that he gets appointed to fill it by DeSantis. That's probably true. I would have thought that he would want to be AG better, but maybe there's a backroom deals being made that we don't know about. Welcome, Angel Berber. Thank you for clocking in. All right, guys, let's get into the show. Everyone's here. He lost to Mr. E. Well, Mr. E is awfully funny too. I mean, and he curses very well, so that's good. Yeah. So anyway, guys, let's get into the show. So we're about, what we like 2.5 weeks deep after the election. Pennsylvania, we talked about Pennsylvania the other day and how they've been actually the way it's gone. We talked about this on Monday with all of the voter fraud that they're constantly finding irregularities. It rises to the level of organized crime, and the Democrats have to start being held accountable for this. We really need to absolutely 100% demand accountability for these criminal actions. The prosecutors can't just swipe this under the floor. They can't just make a backroom deal and sign a paper and let it go. Guys, this is we just can't have this anymore, guys. So we are a country of law. We live under the rule of law. And when the law is flaunted, as it has been, it removes the sanctity and the seriousness and and everything that makes a country a country. We're not, and we're not a country if we can't even enforce our own laws? We're just a bunch of slaves, really. I mean, at this point, if anyone can just do whatever they want and just be given free reign to cheat, to lie, to fake government documents, to pay people to go out and literally create false ballots and mail them in. If this can happen, guys, if these things can happen and go unpunished, we don't have a country. We just don't. And we can't get away from that. We have to, at this point, I mean, look, folks, people break the law, they need to be punished, right? Or we're not a land of laws. And we talked about that Monday, and now when we it really feels like, guys, it really, like, look, I don't know exactly what I really don't know exactly what Biden's gameplay is here. I really don't know what his what they're really trying to do, but it really seems like that they're kind of trying to tank everything going into January, so that when they hand it over, it's just a complete mess, right? I mean, look, Biden's administration, or whoever's running things right now, is terrible, guys. I mean, it's just terrible. So, and on the one hand, we have that. Now, on the other hand, you have, like, Abbott just issued an executive order in his state to arrest CCP operatives in Texas, right? And they're starting to arrest, arrest, like, put them in jail, illegal immigrants that have entered the country illegally and are known to be bad actors, and they're arresting them right now. But not the federal government. The federal government is not doing this. States are doing this. State courts are doing it. The federal government is sitting on its hands. And it's really, really important, right? It's really, really important to do this stuff. But you really can't get away from the fact that the laws in this country are being flaunted. I mean, that the Jussie Smollett thing, it was just overturned in Illinois, right? That was just this week. The Illinois Supreme Court has said that Jussie Smollett, or Smollett, whatever the hell his name is, Jussie Small Penis, his conviction's been overturned. Right? So I mean, are we a nation of laws or not? Are we what are we doing? And it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible right now. Like, I don't know. But so many good things are happening, and I don't know if they're balancing out the bad things. Minority working class voters in New York or have taken to the New York Times to explain to Democrats why Democrats have lost their support. I mean, come on, guys. It's what's going on here with our laws in our country, right? Are we a land of laws? I believe we are. We are actually, Anson Knowles. That's a very solid point. I like that point. We've never been a nation of laws. We are a nation of power. It's very true. But we have laws, and we have to. TTS coming in, guys.
Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics donated $10, super chat. Biden allowing the missile strike, very bad. It's a matter of when, not if, we will see American-made F-16s flying over Red Square.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. What do you think, guys? Where you at on this stuff? What do you, I mean, where are we at? What are we thinking about here? That are we a nation that as of right now today, the world should respect and to some degree fear? There's nothing wrong with a good, healthy fear, by the way. The idea that's pushed by women in our world that for some reason believe that fear is evil, fear is bad, that's wrong. It's very wrong. I have a good, healthy fear of the law. That's why I don't drive on the wrong side of the road. That's why I don't do burnouts in front of police cars. It's why I don't do things, because I have a good, healthy fear of that, right? And a good, healthy fear of things keeps people somewhat in check, right? Until they lose that fear. And once they lose that fear, we see what we have now, which is we have people who will literally steal something and walk out of the store and dare the store clerks to do something about it, right? We have police officers who will literally watch a crime happen and not do anything about it. Why? Because they're afraid. They have a good, healthy fear of being prosecuted for doing their job. And they're right, because that's what happens. There's really no upside to not having this good, healthy fear, this good, healthy respect for the power of the law. But the law right now, not very powerful, not very respected, guys. Folks, we're on a crossroads. We always are. It's an interesting thing. We're always on the X. We are always on the X. Imperious EAE and Patriot 1776 have a healthy fear of Imperious. Maybe, but they're the ones that can time you out. I don't know what to tell you. That's funny. Little 30-second timeout there. Or no, a minute timeout. Wow. Yeah, get off the X. We live perpetually on the X, guys. We always have somebody trying to invade. We always have somebody with a plot against us. In our personal lives, there's always somebody that's going to, that could smash into our car. There's always something out there that is a threat. We choose to walk around in our daily lives and ignore most of them because they are not substantial. However, that is that's bad. And we just stay on the X all the time. As a country, we do, as people, we do, as citizens living our daily lives, we stay on the X. Everywhere Imperious goes, he gets banned. I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, look, he's a polarizing individual, for sure. So, Big Jake. Big Jake's Ranch. You are not wrong in your statement. However, I'm going to add something. If you lose all respect of other people or other countries, it is ridiculously hard to get it back. And usually you have to go so far the other direction to get it back that not only do people fear you, they hate you all at the same time. And it's very difficult to win back that respect. Now, it can happen without that. But let's just be honest. You have to have a very strong and influential leader who's willing to do the hard works to get things done. And it's really important to know that. And this is what we're seeing now when in our voting. And I never thought I'd see the day. Imperious strikes back with a $2 super chat. I'm not banned from EAE's mom's bedroom. LOL. Well, that's probably true. There's, but I don't know what that's saying about you. I mean, that's I don't know how old his mom is, but you know, that's not very nice. And but at any rate, YouTube auto blocks 90% of my comments about the war of NATO aggression. That's probably true. That's probably true. EAE, yeah, absolutely. We were kind of talking about that earlier. We feel like that he's looking to fill a Senate seat. And guys, folks, do you realize what has happened as my autofocus decides to fuck around? It's going to find out. Do you guys realize what has happened in this election cycle? Not only did the Democrats lose the presidential run, they got blown out in the Senate, and they got blown out and thrown out in the House. The House, where they thought that it was going to be close, that it was going to be a nail biter, and it was a nail biter, but we keep extending our lead in the House. And right now, conservatives have sent a clear message of stop it. And I don't think it's just conservatives. I think you're looking at Democrats crossing the aisle and voting because they can't afford what they could afford 4 years ago. And that's 4 years ago, guys. Look at the change in 4 years. Look at the change that's happened. Adamant Getz said his nomination has become too much of a distraction, doesn't pass the fishy smell test. That could be. That could be. Getz, Getz is one of those guys that I find him truly polarizing, and I think that he would have been great as AG. But I think he'll be awesome in the Senate as well. And I think he wants the Senate because it's a longer term gig. Let's remember, guys, that once you're voted in, it's Senate is once you get into Congress, it's almost a lifetime gig, and Getz may be playing a long game. I don't know that I have an issue with that, so I'm okay with it. That is just fine. And so I'm just curious who they're going to get to replace Getz. I don't know I haven't seen anything about it. I've been busy this morning, but we'll take a look at that. And I'm not going to Google while I'm on the stream here. And I'm also not going to Google while I'm cleaning my glasses so I can see. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Much less reflection when they're clean. But at any rate, Getz is not going to be AG. He withdrew this morning, Vengeful Truther, TVT. He withdrew his nomination this morning. Kim Paxton, I'd have to look him up. EAE says, I voted for a Republican for the first time in my life in November, and I'm 30 plus. People are fed up. No, I think people are hungry. I think, Dano, I think Trump's picks are off the charts good. They're really great. They're absolutely 100%. They're 100% just awesome. Like Kristi Noem, Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, these are people that. What's interesting is his selections are so just bang on. I agree with that. Brandon Herrera for ATF. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. So, and I would, guys, I find that it's very interesting the way the country is rolling right now. Like, we're rejecting all of this stuff. And what I find more interesting is the amount of wokeism that, for whatever reason, we keep encountering. And I don't know what to do about that. I really don't understand kind of how and where we are, but it's going to be interesting. The next 3 years are going to be very interesting. And Teriak, yes, it's I wouldn't say the Avengers, but probably like Trump's vengeance riders or something like that, like the Wyatt Earp vengeance trail thing or whatever they call that. The vengeance ride or whatever it was. It's more like Wyatt Earp going after the cowboys, right? Kill every one of them. And he almost did. He tried very hard. Imperious for AG, no. Imperious for head toilet scrubber in the White House. Yeah. The Vengers got a good ring to it. So what I'm most curious about is whoever is controlling Biden. Their actions currently are just off the rails, man. Just off the rails. And I'm a little bewildered because on the one hand they do something good and then turn right around and do something that's so weird and off the wall bad. It just defies logic. It's honestly like there are 4 different people controlling Biden, and none of them are talking to each other, and they just kind of like write things out as they want to. Yeah. That's true. I mean, Mr. Mister, that's been true for a very long time. It's been very true for a very long time that the Democrats have been being consumed from the inside by enemy forces, better known as communist, socialist, and the rules for that have become very, very much inflamed. The rules are just off the chart right now. It's just crazy. Teriak is right. The Democrats, deep state, are acting out like a drunk ex-wife because she saw you with your new wife. That's really good. That's really true. I like that. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. So yeah. Looking forward, I think the cabinet is really good. I think that there's no downside to there's no downside to anything that's on the proposal right now. I'm looking forward to the Doge, the office of the Doge to make some great strides in the efficiency and reform of the government. And EAE, the T's of the LGBT, played a role in costing them the election. They absolutely did. And the insanity that reigns with those young people, because that you notice that you rarely ever see a T in my age range unless they're batshit crazy anyway. But these people who have come out and are saying such wild ass things and promoting the most absurd behavior is nuts. It's just crazy. I mean, I can't even get into it. It's really nuts. Guys, if I've ranted enough, if we have some guests that would like to come up, I think Glenn was wanting to come up. I need to let me see if I can throw him a link. I think Glenn wanted to be on the show today, or at least he has much to contribute. We will throw that up. I'm gonna throw that out to him. There we go. Why is it not? Yeah, there we go. And anybody else would like to come up, please reach out to a mod. We'll vet up and see some things. I think DeSantis and the rest of the current, I guess you would say, establishment folks are. I think they're doing a great job. Honestly, I think they're doing a great job. I think that it's, you know what, the incoming administration is very much like the legal team in a divorce proceeding where one person has to move out of the house and the incoming team are just cleaning up the mess, right? They're just cleaning up. They're not taking it personally, maybe a little bit, but not too much. And they just move in, restore order. So, Glenn, if you're still out there, come on up, buddy. I sent you the link. Ticky Tack, you're welcome to come up as well. You missed out last night, so you're certainly welcome to come up this morning. Anson Knowles, always welcome. He just got back to his office from a sneaky link and playing catch. You were playing catch with a sneaky link? Were they pitching? This sounds oddly fruity. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. No, it's okay, Anson. You don't have to come up, buddy. We'll get it. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what I said, Dano. He was catching. So, yeah. Sometimes you got to get the peg from your lady. So, Anson, are you sniffing around your ex-wife again? Haven't you already been there, done that, got the divorce papers? Is the best. Mr. Glenn Lawrence, how are you this fine morning, sir?
Yo, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Turn that off.
Turn it all off.
What is going on, man?
Anson Knowles is apparently banging his ex-wife.
So his ex-wife is going to be his future wife, I see.
Something, I don't know.
Or is she going to be his future ex-wife?
I think maybe he's currently using her as a sneaky link. I think that might be the best relationship.
What's this? What the hell is a sneaky link?
I don't know, but that's what that's his term. I'm using his terminology, man.
What is a sneaky link?
I think that means,
like, do they click a link and then they
down low hookup?
Why don't you just call it a booty call?
Booty call.
What was wrong with booty call? Do we need to have me create new terms?
We got new terms.
I hate these kids with their new terms.
Ticky Tack, it's cool, man. If you can't come up, that's awesome. That's great. So, Glenn, what are you seeing out in California in the political socio environment? Are people losing their god dang minds?
Yeah. Everybody's losing their minds.
Yeah. Can they even believe that Trump won? Have they accepted the reality that Trump has won and Daddy's back? Daddy's home, bitches.
They were kind of hoping that he was gonna not return after going to get cigarettes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't get that.
Unfortunately, he's the kind of dad that's coming back. after
Right?
cigarettes.
Right. Yeah. Right. He's coming right back. That's funny. It's funny because it's true. So
Yeah. So I mean, actually, there really hasn't been that much of a like
Well,
fucking uprising. I think people are just kind of like,
yeah, it's
kind of relieved.
California. Nothing ever
Well, I
changed.
think it's kind of relieved. Like, I think that's just kind of relieved. Like, well, at least it's not Kamala.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you now, of course, you're in California.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you in a semi-conservative area? Are you in a very not conservative area? What
Bro,
would you
I'm in Los
describe?
Angeles area. You know how weird we are? We have a little bit of conservatives with a bunch of fags. I mean, maggots.
Mhm.
We
Right.
have, you know, some weirdo hippies that are all spiritual that speak to the trees and shit. And, you know, we got like your skinny jeans wearing, you know, um Protestant, you know, evangelical, hipster Christians. Like we have a little bit of everything here. It's a melting pot of all sorts of weirdness.
So we got a couple of things here. First, Anson Knoll says it's a sneaky link because it's a huge secret that she's keeping from everyone. I'm a sweeper, not a keeper.
Well, did you just not out her sneaky link stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Hopefully your
if
kids
she's
don't
supposed
watch
to
this
be
show.
if things supposed to be secret, should you not tell anybody?
Yeah.
Doesn't that
Yeah.
defeat
Right.
the purpose?
Yeah. And Mr. lets us know that Newscomb just bought a $9 million house. This is the guy that waved the communist China flag when leader, that's Xi Jinping,
Mhm.
came to California.
So
Well,
he buying a new house and we can't even get the tracks for the railroad, that the bullet train. I'm just kind of confused.
well, when is his now? Is his court? Has it been suspended or? Um,
I don't know. I have no idea. If he's buying a $9 million house, I don't think he's going anywhere.
huh. Yeah, I'm just gonna Google that really quick. Criminal charges.
Would you buy a $9 million house before you would go to prison?
Uh, to be honest with you, I don't really understand anything Democrats do. Probably, if I was a Democrat, I would, because I wouldn't believe I would. You know,
I think Newscomb knows it. No, he can't go down. He's not going to go down. You know why? He has to be the front runner for 2028.
yeah. No, Booty Juice is.
Booty just going to be the front runner in 2028?
I think. Well, as of right now, I mean, we got 4 years. The Dem bench is actually pretty light right now. They have that Michigan Whitmer, but she's a hag, man. So in theory, it could be Whitmer. Whitmer would, kind of be like, that's a Whitmer's a possibility. You've got Newscomb. You've got Shapiro in Pennsylvania. He's somehow remaining clear of any charges of election fraud in Pennsylvania right now. So that's interesting. You've got the governor of isn't the governor of North Carolina? He's a Dem right now, right? And isn't he? I mean, I think he's probably in the running, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No, I think the Democrat bench seems light, but I think that the Dems always do this. They always like focus on people that they know that there's no way.
Well, I think
Way
it's a
they're
good
gonna.
distraction tactic, right?
Yeah,
You start thinking that like, oh, that's going to be their front runner, and you're prepping
yeah,
for that person, and then they pull out like,
like Obama.
Beto Ortiz out of like, I don't know, bumfucking Egypt, and you're like, what the
Mhm.
fuck? Who's this guy?
Yeah, so Mr. throws it out there. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, possibly, but the only whole commie is Newscomb. Yeah, that's true. And Booty Juice. Exactly the kind of scum they want. However, Whitmer is on the DNC board. That's true. I mean, but the thing is that they're going to do an Obama thing again, right? They're going to have somebody that nobody's ever damn heard of. There's no press on them. They get elected in a district where they run unopposed, or like it's a basically a phone in win, and then the next thing you know, they're running for president. It's just going to be. I'm just telling you. I feel like they're going to pull an Obama. I would like, and I don't want to. I'm not calling anything yet. I would like to see, if I had my druthers, the battle I would like to see is AOC versus JD Vance.
No, I was thinking about mud wrestling, or
Well, I think that AOC is.
I was thinking like AOC versus, who's the chick from, was it North Dakota?
Chrissy Noem.
Yeah, I think that would be a good
Noem's not presidential
mud wrestling
candidate material.
But I thought you said you just want to see people fight. I thought that would have been a good fight.
No. I'm talking about for the presidential race, man. I think that.
Why would you want to AOC? That wouldn't even be a good fight. She's dumb.
Well, no, I think right now. So I think the problem with the Democrats right now is that unless they put up a female, they're going to be seen it. They will see themselves as conceding that they can't win with a female. And I think they're probably just going to keep putting up female candidates until they win.
Okay, ladies, you'll see your first president in the year 3010.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
Women president.
You're probably not wrong, but I'm just saying it just seems that way, right? Because they, I don't know why they put Biden up.
By the time 3010 happens, right, when they get their first female president, it wouldn't even be really a female president, because by then all females would be T's. So
right, it would no.
Still be a man.
No. Not all of them, but all the ones in politics.
Yeah, all the ones in politics would be.
Yeah, so men are just going to replace women again. No, look, I mean, seriously, I just don't see how you're going to have I don't know where they're going to go on the Democrat bench, but I personally believe that, well, AOC, first of all, I think AOC would have a decent shot.
Like all she would have would be, wouldn't she? Would be she's just got name recognition and a decent figure-ish.
Well, what do you think Kamala had?
Well, she didn't have any of that. Oh,
right?
Okay.
Yeah. So AOC has a leg up, right?
Yeah,
AOC already has a leg up.
Actually, AOC might have would have beat Trump. Actually,
yeah, AOC might have, right? But I just see. Well, first of all, I think that they really want to run that Muslim girl from Michigan. Can't think of her name. Ilhan Omar.
Is she hot? Is that the one that wears the turban thingy?
She wears a burqa, dude. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, she ain't hot. She ugly. No. They need to go beauty, not ugly.
Yeah, so I feel like that they want to run her. They just know that can't win. So
if they run her, I don't even know why anybody would.
I don't know
if
she was born here. That the problem becomes when it's born here.
Well, my question is, why would they run?
Big Jake's Ranch is at least honest. If AOC texted me at 3 a.m. asking if I was up, he'd smash.
Well, Big Jake, I think that it would be every guy. You're just the only one that's going to be willing to admit it.
Yeah, right.
Except Cheeks. Cheeks might be a little gay, so he might say no, he needs his beauty sleep.
Yeah. I just feel like that AOC makes the most sense currently, but it'll change. So RFK will never run for president on the Dem ticket unless the damage to the party is so massive from Trump over the next 3 years that in 28 they literally just can't do anything else. They're backs against the wall. Shit's getting real, and they have to. The only thing they can do is return to a time of the old ways, lad, the old ways. And when they do that, they may pull RFK out, but Dems absolutely hate RFK. They hate him. They hate him. They hate him. They hate him. Even though he's probably more Democrat than anybody currently calling themselves a Democrat, he has name recognition. He would get he could pull from all levels of society and all walks of life on the Dem side, but they won't do it because they hate him. They absolutely hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see him going really back to, like you said, they would have to destroy it. Trump would have to destroy something, and the party would just have to be destroyed altogether before he would go back to rebuild it.
They would literally have to I mean, the Democrat Party would literally have to be like on the ropes, like unbelievably just destroyed. What in the world? Anyway, sorry about that. It was weird. I got sent something in a message to maybe post up, but it probably needs an app that I do not have because I do not tick the talk. What's up, Carney's Ride? I see you walked in the door. Yeah. So what are you looking at for the next 4 years, Glenn? I know you're not a particularly political person, and normally you talk more like.
No, I'm political. I just, I focus more on local politics than I do anything else. Like, what's affecting my state or my city more than anything. But what do I see in the next 4 years? Well, I've already said that, if Trump is going to do anything good, if he wants to see any serious, impact, and I said this about the conservatives altogether, you have 2 years. We have from time Trump gets in office till midterms. If things are not, going in and things are not changing by then, you could kiss it goodbye. It'll be all worse for nothing. So I think a lot of citizens like ourselves, we need to be underneath our politicians with the fire under their ass, and keeping them honest, keeping them on track, not letting them light up or let up on, the agenda. Make sure that they push and they fight for legislation that we want. We can't just sit here and oh, Trump's in office. Cool. Let's sit back and just chill. No, now it's time for us to go to work. Yeah, we got the people that we want there. But in order for us to make sure that the legislations and the things that we want changed or things we want fixed to be addressed, they have to have a fire under their ass.
Yeah, I think so. But instead, what we get is this. I'm going to show this really quick. This is what we get instead.
We just wanted the roads fixed. That's all we wanted. Instead, we get OnlyFans videos from the governor. Thanks, Gretchen.
Gretchen Whitmer, ladies and gentlemen.
Great. Who the fuck is that?
Gretchen Whitmer.
Who's Gretchen?
Governor of Wisconsin.
Oh my god, she was with the OnlyFans chick. Oh man, wow, man. Okay, well, The bar's not set really high, guys. I mean,
That's what we get, guys. This is your Democrats in motion.
like this is not set really high.
Yeah. You can't make it up. You think you can, but you can't. Yeah, let me we'll play that again just for, just because. Why would you not? And this is what we get. This is the governor.
We just wanted the roads fixed. That's all we wanted.
Well, you have to
Instead, we
wait.
get
I'm sorry, I
OnlyFans
didn't
videos
rewind
from the
it.
governor.
Apologies. We'll get to
Thanks,
watch it again. Well, there we go. What is the governor doing?
That's all we wanted. Instead, we get
Feeding a
videos
pet
from the governor. Thanks,
Apparently
Gretchen.
feeding a pet. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's good, right, guys? I mean, it's that's what your elected officials should be doing, right? That's exactly what they're getting paid for, what their job is. It's right there in the job description to be a degenerate and feeding. I don't know, what are those nacho Doritos or some kind of salsa chip? I'm not really sure. But gross, folks. That's gross. That's degenerate.
well, we feed our kids, right? Is that feeding our kids degenerate? But the fact that chick was only
who's Whitmer? Where is she at? I thought she was Wisconsin. Who's the governor? Michigan, maybe? I don't know. Michigan. That's Andrew's governor, folks. That's oh, poor Andrew. Doritos. It was Doritos. The Raging Patriot knows that. Gross. That's gross. That was not communion, Dano. That I've watched communion. That is not communion. So anyway,
what did Cheeks sent me? Cheeks said something. What the fuck?
Is Cheeks here? Cheeks needs to be up on.
No, he messaged me.
Well, tell me to get online. We're doing a show, man. It's time. Michigan, damn the bad luck.
A bunch of memes. That's all.
You guys in Michigan, you got a mission in life is to get rid of Gretchen Whitmer. That's gross. That is just gross. Anson Knowles, however, says that he would get on his knees and eat for Gretchen. Of course he would. He's a single man.
Anson would get on his knees and eat for me, Grid.
Yeah,
the bar is low there, too.
The bar is low. She looks like Fat Trinity from the Matrix Vengeful TVT. I'm going to start calling the Vengeful Truther TVT because Vengeful Truther is too damn long to say. Sorry. The FBI fucked it up for you? That's bad. God dang it, Clover. I did pick up a new gadget yesterday, Clover. I picked up an IMI Jericho 2 941, and it is other than the trigger being heavy as it's really heavy and long, kind of like something else that I have an appendage.
Whoa.
The trigger is very heavy, very long, and it's not very good. So we're gonna have to fix that.
Oh, it's not really good. It's not what she said.
So he's picking up 3 later today. So suck it, you lose with your 1. Yeah, that's okay. Clover Tack is the man on a mission. Clover Tack, we still have to have a conversation about patches, my buddy, my friend, pal of mine. Got to get some patches made, bro. Patches for everyone. Patches O'Houlihan from Dodgeball. Yeah. Anson Knowles is not a staunch Republican. He is a staunch divorced person that's got a sneaky link with his ex-wife. That's crazy. Look, you've already how do you go back to the poison well, Anson? You've already been smacked around. Do you not just do you? I don't understand. I'm having a mental block. Do you understand this one, Glenn?
Anson's no, but I expect it.
Okay. Well, it's got to be. It's either Anson's the weakest man on the planet, or that's some gold-plated pussy.
No. It's a kink. It's like, look.
Okay. All right.
It's like you don't get me off anymore. But I think it's because you're my wife. So if I divorce you and you're not my wife, you're my ex-wife.
I forget that TVT is in Canadian land.
Yeah, he's in Canada.
He like typed that, and I thought, where the fuck is he at? Restricted firearms yesterday. What the fuck? And then I thought, oh yeah, that's that Canadian bullshit.
Yep, he's from Canada.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Is it though?
Yeah. So, Glenn,
is there?
What do you feel about? How do you feel about the
feel?
How do you feel about California and how close it came to going red?
It kind of gave me like some like Reagan vibes.
Reagan vibes, yeah, okay.
And it kind of seems like that's where maybe the pulse of California is at least the people that I have like interacted with.
Mm-hmm.
The people on the left that I know didn't really throw a fit about Kamala losing, right? I mean, yeah, their guy didn't win, but it wasn't like the end of the world. It wasn't like when Trump first got elected. Remember when Trump first got elected? They had Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, well, they still do.
They didn't see much of that.
Mm.
And a lot of them don't really like the extreme leftist, agenda.
Do you think it's because? Do you think it's because that parents are seeing the results of the agenda in their children, and seeing what's going on in the schools, and how that affects their daily lives more, along with the just massive constant increase in prices and how tough their lives are getting, especially in California, where you basically need to make like $5,000 or $6,000 a month just to survive.
Yeah, tell me about it. I think really what it is it's a multiple of things. I think the alphabet people and that agenda,
Mm-hmm.
Disney, all that stuff has gone too far, right? And I think they've seen even the feminist agenda has gone too far. Like both of these agendas have really gone unchecked, and people are starting to say, okay, hold the fuck up. I mean, when you got gay guys in heels, arguing with destiny,
yeah,
like that the left has gone too far left when a fellow, Coomer like Destiny wants to argue against Destiny because Destiny is too far left. That tells you something.
Yeah, well, but Destiny's been in a spiral, though. I mean, let's just be honest that Destiny, where he was once kind of almost a voice of reason, I think it could safely be argued right now that he is actually closer to like he's probably the most
Destiny being the voice of reason. When would Destiny ever be considered?
Well, he was he even said he was moderate until basically until last year when Trump announced his presidency. He was pretty moderate. He argued in good faith far more. And
Destiny has never been moderate. I'm sorry.
He was pretty moderate. He was not off the wall leftist like he is now.
Yeah, he was. He just didn't have a reason
Oh,
to
no,
show
dude,
you.
he actually came out in defense of the Kenosha kid, Kyle Rittenhauser. You know, he came out in defense of that. He initially, you know, he was like Jan 6
Jan
was
6,
not
remember
in.
the whole Jan 6 thing?
He
Do you not remember
he
watching
said
that
that
debate?
Jan 6 was not an insurrection. That it was just if anything, it was a
When did
riot,
he say that?
for the other side of voting. And
Hold on. Great. When did
but
he say that? When did he say that about Jan 6? Because
like
I remember a
like
debate
2
that.
years, like when it happened, like.
Do you not
And
remember the
since
debate
then, it
in?
wasn't until last year. It wasn't until last year. Well, maybe not even last year, like the last 8 months, that he went batshit fucking crazy. It
Do you
kind
not
of
remember the
dovetails
debate
into
that
his,
he had a debate with Andrew about this? You remember that, right?
but that was this year,
That was just like 3 months ago, 4 months
right?
ago.
That's what I'm saying. A year and a half, a year ago, he wasn't this extreme.
You're still sucking dick, so I think he's pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was sucking dick, that's for sure. But and he was, I mean, he even talked about like being stuck or sitting in the chair in the corner of the room while his wife got railed. That was really crazy.
He
He was a
talked about
Republican
being in the
10 years
cut chair?
ago? No way. R. Allen. He was a Republican?
Oh, who was running for president 10 years ago? Was that
I don't
McConnell?
know.
No. That was Mitch. Yeah, wasn't it Mitch? No, Mitch.
No.
What's that Mitch name? Mitch.
Wow. Yeah, no, guys, you guys have to understand Destiny has the more he goes, the further he goes down this path, the more leftist he becomes. McCain, thank you. And he, you know, Destiny was a Republican. He comes from Republican parents. It almost seems to correlate to his drug use, right? And maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's contracted the gonorrhea cancer and it's impacting how his brain works. Anson Knowles is on it today. Anson Knowles is fucking on it.
He might be onto something there.
Yeah, because Destiny defended Kyle Rittenhauser and said that what he did was right, and he said the verdict was right and just. And Destiny's actually, like, if you had talked to Destiny a year and a half, 2 years ago, you'd have been like, yeah, he's pretty level-headed, dude. Yeah, he's on the sex side, he was way more liberal than I think that most conservatives would be comfortable with. But yeah, what happens in the bedroom,
Like, I mean, I thought Destiny, like, if we weren't gonna, like, if we had to talk about anything that we disagreed on, Destiny's a likable guy. You could probably, get along with him, have a good conversation,
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. And he used to, even when you debated him, unless you attacked him,
yeah,
he would act in good faith. I remember the first time I saw him on whatever, he was absolutely cool as a cucumber. And then somebody attacked him, and he just kind of lost his shit. And but not like he does now, right? It was like it's just like he's on. So it's like he was on an even keel, and he just started this descent into the toilet bowl of hell, and he just can't stop that ride. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I just don't think that Destiny has ever. As long as I've been aware of him, he has not been. Oh, Mitt Romney, that's who it was in 2012.
Yeah.
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 I just don't see him not being. Or as long as I've seen him, he's always been very lefty.
Yeah. So well, I mean, and again, I haven't been watching him a ton, but I paid attention to him and I looked into his history. Mister, that might have been me who said that. So I know, and I tracked down the footage. I don't have it handy, but Farah, no, Farha,
Yeah, Pharaoh.
the chick that looks like she
Yeah,
has,
Pharaoh with the glasses, fake glasses.
but it's not Fara, it's Farha, Farha. She's Middle Eastern.
Oh, the way she pronounced it was Pharaoh. So
Really? Oh, maybe I didn't hear her right. I could have sworn that she called herself Farha. It doesn't matter. That girl and Jasmine Jafar and another girl that I can't, maybe Erudite. They all admitted on camera that they were getting paid to say what they were saying.
Yeah, wasn't it by like was that Democrat like company or whatever, right? That political company.
Yeah, it was some PAC. I forget which one. They did it. They did identify the PAC.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name now too.
But they did that on camera, and so Destiny has said several times.
Not Turning Point, right? Was it Turning Point USA?
No, not Turning Point. Destiny said several times he's alluded to the fact that he could be being paid. He'll say stuff like, "For all you know, I'm getting paid to say this," or whatever. My motivation's unimportant. And he said it so many times that it's like where there's smoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you kind of have to wonder if there's fire there, and it's interesting because I think again you have to wonder what the motivations are and where he's if he's saying what he's saying on the up and up. I did notice that he really didn't go after Lauren Chin and Tenet Media. Because I think that he was concerned it would bring attention to his actions as well. Clovertac, if you're getting paid to call this chat a bunch of degen losers, I must claim a percentage of that. So, a royalty. I have to claim a royalty. I'm sorry. Has he been going after Tim? I think he just doesn't like Tim Pool. I think he goes after Tim Pool in general, personally.
I mean, do you blame him though?
Not really.
I don't blame him. Really. I mean, no shade at Tim or anything like that. I'm not trying to. I just think Tim
brings it on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he cries victim.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the stream that Tim did outside the YouTube re-education facility where he was like walking around and doing the man on the street kind of thing?
Like basically bitching about I had to do.
And the whole time I had to come and do the YouTube re-education camp because
what was me? I had to go to a class
whole day out of my life.
I couldn't play with my skateboard.
Yeah. There's something about that guy that it's like one of the things is that you hear something that he says, you'll just hear a clip or something, you're like, man, that dude sounds pretty cool. I kind of want to know more about that dude. I want to go see his channel. And then you watch a full if you can watch a full episode, you're like, man. He says some good shit, but he also whines a lot. Most
of what he does is whining.
Look, I can't say that. I have not.
No, okay, you're right. It's just like
I can't say that.
It's not that he mostly whines. It's just that maybe it's the sound of his voice that like makes me think of it.
Well, Jantix is not playing around. He always sounds like a crybaby bitch. Damn, that stings. That's gotta hurt.
Well, I mean, it's kind of true though.
I mean, I'm glad I didn't say it. I just repeated that for all the people watching right now that are going to come at me later. I mean, I'm just repeating it. I'm not, does not represent the opinions or position of of me or the show.
It represents all the opinions.
Yeah, a lot of people whine, bitch, and cry. That's true. I agree with that. I try not to whine or cry. I sometimes bitch, but I never bitch out. So, that's cool, right? It's good.
That's true. Very true.
So yeah, and I try really hard not to whine. Whining just annoying. So
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of. Let's see. No, he whines a lot. I'm sorry. Like he's like, what did I say? I said this 5 years ago, that this was going to happen. And look at, but no, mainstream media, they want to leave me.
do you think he's mad that he's not Joe Rogan? Do you think that's what the root is?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's not Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan had to do less.
Right. It's kind of like he wants to be Joe Rogan, but he's not.
He's not as cool as Joe Rogan.
Yeah. He tried, but have you ever noticed the resemblance to Joe Rogan? How similar the shows
and
how similar the shows are. I'm sure that's not on purpose.
Oh, you're talking about the show format? Okay, yeah.
I'm sure that's not on purpose.
Well, no, Joe Rogan seems his show format is so much more laid back. It seems like.
Well, yeah, it's laid back for sure, but that's just because Joe's really laid back.
Yeah,
Tim's like wired all the time. I agree. Angel Berber. I think that they probably are close friends. So I don't know that. I don't know. You can still be jealous of your friends. It happens all the time.
Most of the time, that's how people are jealous of. Not really jealous of your enemies because you don't know what they've got going on because you don't hang out with your enemies.
Yeah, friends close, enemies closer.
Yep. But I mean, you don't get to interact with your enemies that often, right? So you interact with your friends. Your friends, you're gonna see what they got going on, and you're gonna be more jealous of what you see on the regular.
This just in, Ellen DeGeneres has moved to Great Britain and says she's never coming back to the United States.
How convenient, right before Diddy's information about to get leaked. Oh, did I imply that Ellen DeGeneres was at the Diddy party? No, not me.
Who sounds triggered, though?
Ellen has been she was under hot water during COVID, right?
No, I didn't know that. What happened there?
She was under hot water for some kitty stuff.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, and so was Steven Spielberg's son. So during the lockdown, there was 3 or 4 people. Steven Spielberg's son, Ellen. And it was Ellen's former assistant that kind of dropped the ball. Forgot who the other one was, the other 2 people, but it was low key in the talks in the entertainment world. Everybody was kind of waiting on it to see what was going to happen. So I could see Ellen moving and getting away because extradition is going to be not a big thing,
That's okay.
I find it funny when people are like, I'm going to move out of the country if this person is going to be president.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please do.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Diddy and DeGeneres were tight. They're buddies.
Diddy had his hands everywhere. I mean, he had his mansion out in LA where he would throw his Diddy parties. All
Hollywood's one big incestuous relationship.
Yeah, Hollywood is one big,
you got to realize everyone's banged everyone. They've all dated I'm telling you, dude. Yeah, dude, what's that chick? Dude, what's that blonde chick who came out this week? Her friends ratted her out this week, saying she slept with 5 super famous celebrities and shit when she was younger. When she was it was the chick that was married to that football guy, the quarterback for the Bears. What was his Cutler? That chick, his ex-wife. Her friends were huh?
You said Jay Cutler's?
Yeah, Cutler's ex-wife. She like her friends came out and said she like banged Jason Statham. She banged like people that like they've never even no one's even seen her with before, and like no, there's no pictures of them. There's no evidence they even. That's what I'm saying. Like it's all just like you'll just get calls or messages from PR to like people or from assistants saying, "Oh yeah, they want to talk to you. They want," and that's bang. That's what I'm saying. Like Hollywood is just a big incestuous nonsense, dude. These are stupid people.
Well, I agree they're stupid people, but like I didn't realize that DeGeneres and Diddy operated on the same level. But a quick Google search finds that they were great friends.
Yeah.
Not know that. And apparently DeGeneres' wife, Portia, whatever her name is, was with her at these Diddy parties. So you have to wonder what went down since, there's no party like a Diddy party.
Well, you don't need to wonder what went down.
Oh, it's going to come out in court.
you kind of already know what went down.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's silly. It's that like, why do we not assume this already? Like, I would have assumed this. Remember back in like, what was that guy's name? Warren Beatty was known as being like a like banging every chick in Hollywood back in the day.
Warren Beatty was
like this has happened like for
but Beatty was a normal horn dog, right? Like he just banged whatever. He was an opportunistic horn dog, right? Like he didn't go out of his way, I don't think, to like.
Wait, are there abnormal horn dogs?
Yeah, like Diddy. Like Diddy. That,
yeah, but I don't think Diddy's like that much unusual. Like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Maybe I have like a more degenerate view of humanity, but these people, like that, he's not even like the most degenerate. I mean, Grid, you've seen these YouTube videos of people talking to people on the street and stuff, and I'm telling you, like, people are open about like they've done all kinds of stuff. Like, it's disgusting, Grid. Like,
I be honest, man. I've seen a lot of stuff, man on the street kind of stuff, but I take all of that with like no seriousness whatsoever, because it's one thing to sit there and say, oh yeah, whatever homosexual experience, or, some girl says, oh yeah, me and 3 of my girlfriends made out. Lies, web of lies. They're deceitful. They're just saying things
but then they say, yeah, possibly, but they're all, I mean, if you're willing and it's promoted to say those things and it's okay to say them, why wouldn't it be okay to do them?
Because saying
that's how it just propagates
doing it. I mean, it just is.
I don't think so. I think if saying it gives you, if saying it gives you like credit nowadays, doing it is going to give you way more credit. That's like, I genuinely think, like, that's the thing. Like, maybe
I can't get there.
I don't know.
Because I know people all the time. Like it's just like when I was I'll go back to when I was in high school, like decades ago, right? There was always the girls that everyone thought banged everyone, and they were freaking virgins, right? And yet there was the one girl. There was the one girl that was like, that there was like some, like, maybe not proof, but it was pretty solid that she had slept with a couple of dudes. And then the next thing that it's talking about how she's had 3 abortions or whatever, and she's never, and that didn't happen either. So I don't know, man. I think
I just know from the interactions.
I think people are far more tame than they talk about, but at the same time, I think that there are people out there, for sure, that are exceedingly degenerate, and you can't even make up the shit that they do.
Right? Great, I don't know. I've just lost that.
You're jaded because you live in Miami, I think, and
no, not Miami. No, never lived there.
Wherever you live
but I mean, up in the Panhandle. But what I'm saying, like, Grid, what I'm saying,
Jacksonville or something.
But I grew up in LA. I mean, Southern California, and I'm telling you, Grid, like, women are.
Well, I mean, you live in the realm of hedonism. That's just what.
Yeah, but again, like that, what comes from there spreads everywhere. And this was like 15 years ago when Grid. I mean, I remember hearing stories of like chicks, you know, in college, how they were like, they got so drunk and they would walk up and down like the peninsula in Newport. You know how houses are just like open over there. And well, people would just like, dude, I remember hearing girls about how they'd have parties on like 4th of July and, you know, down certain streets like 35th or, you know, things like that. And literally, like, girls would tell me, like, I remember a girl told me one time, she's like, yeah, man, I got so wasted. I was so fucked up. I just walked into this guy's closet and took a shit in there. That's what women do, dude. Like you don't have.
Was that?
Yeah,
was,
I mean,
was
okay.
you know,
I mean, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know.
No, that's what they do. They're not. That's what I'm saying. Like,
happen, right? I know that they.
I think we have a facade of like that people. No, dude, Grid. I'm telling you, dude. Like, you would look up, like it's not like that. I know you want to think that it is, but every single person like that they've all done degenerate things like that on a regular. Like nowadays, degenerate is not even like a word. Like the more crazy things now that you do, the more you're seen as a good person. So it's.
I don't buy that, man. I don't buy that. I think.
In the modern culture, it is. You're more enlightened. You're open to different experiences.
Hold on, I'm gonna push back here, dude. Maybe in those specific cities, but no, not out. I mean, dude, I even in San Francisco that wasn't the case, and I was there quite a while. I've stayed out of Southern California as much as possible, but not enough, obviously. But in New York, you know, it's just like, you know, yeah, there's definitely a lot of craziness for sure. But I don't buy that. First of all, I've never bought that everyone's doing it ever. I never bought that. I think that people conflate things to the point where it's crazy. And but I do agree that I know for a fact that there are morons out there like Diddy who do extremely odd things and have the ability, money, and power to cover it up, and they try. They do the best they can. But yeah.
No, I'm not saying like every single person, but I'm talking like the majority of, like, the Grid nowadays. I'm just like, Grid, in the reality nowadays, you meet a woman, they know how to give dome like experts, Grid. Like every woman out there knows how to give dome like an expert nowadays. I remember when I was younger in high school and stuff, like girls didn't know how. You had to teach them and stuff, or at least show. You know, nowadays, Grid, every single one of them are learning to deep throat. They're all they talk about all the time.
It's a bad and a good thing. You know, it's a good and bad thing.
I mean,
I'm just saying. I just saying this is like a standard.
Hold on. I want to acknowledge something. I want to acknowledge something that at some period of time, and it was after after I was in college, and as I was kind of moving in through my young adulthood, there was a news story on how girls were, instead of actually having sex, they were having oral sex. And so that's why they were like, there was a huge article on it in a couple of different publications and on TV. And I felt really cheated by that. You know, because obviously, you know, when I was going through school, it wasn't a big deal and it wasn't something that was normalized. But I don't generally talk about this specific kind of stuff on the daytime show for a variety of reasons, but I'm gonna kind of redirect a little bit here. DeGeneres leaving is interesting ahead of the Diddy, whatever they're going to reveal out of Diddy, which we know that a lot of that's going to be redacted. And she says that she's going to remain outside of the country as long as Trump is president. So, you know, it's pretty terrible.
Actually, it just frees up some studio, you know, in LA.
Yeah, frees up some studio space
in LA. You know, some new talent could come out.
Yeah, and you know, the British get to deal with her, not us.
Yeah.
So, what is Nick and Jantix? Who are you guys arguing about? I missed something. Also, did
Nick, hold on.
Somebody give Flow State a link.
Nick, did you need a cigarette? I know you're quitting. Nick. You want to vape? You know I'm fucking with you. Don't start yelling at me now.
It's just like I just looked over and it's like
I'm not even paying attention.
Real argument between Jantix and TVT, and you know they're both cool people. I don't know what's up, so I was like,
fuck them both.
So, oh, I got it. Okay, so I got it. Yeah, so it's an easy thing.
Well, speak easy, dude. That guy. Oh my god, dude.
No.
Like,
Dude, we're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into it. This is a Continental. There's no business done in the Continental. Okay. So
your Papa Grid. What is that? Remember from Constantine? What was that guy's Papa Midnight's shop where the evil and the good people they can't fight there?
Yeah. This is a Continental. This is I'm not. I forget that Winston. I'm not Winston, but I'm close.
Well, you know what happened to Winston? That was not a good ending. Poor guy.
Poor Winston.
Winston.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, in the last one, him and the
he died
manager.
in the third one, I think, right?
Yeah, him and the manager died.
No, they didn't die.
Yeah, they did. The other family or whatever executed.
I'll have to look at it again. I don't remember. I thought that he.
It sucked.
I thought that he.
Yeah, I thought he died. I thought the main guy died. He got killed.
The manager, so you had the assistant manager, the black guy, right? He gets shot.
Well, he had to die because he died in real life.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he died in real life. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he died in real life. He didn't. And the manager, I think, is still alive. But and they actually made a.
No, I thought he died. My bad.
Yeah.
Or did he kill the assistant manager and basically was like, oh, now you got me second guessing myself.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, at any rate, let's keep it about the. We'll save the other good stuff for the night shows. Where are you at on the choices for the cabinet, Imperious?
Well, I mean, I would rather have Paxton as the AG anyway. I mean, Gates, what they're probably going to do is going to give him Rubio's seat. And what's his name? Well,
they're claiming that they're claiming that DeSantis cannot give Getz Rubio's seat, but other
pretty
people
sure you can. Pretty sure you can. I don't know why I'm pretty sure the governor can appoint whoever he wants as a Senate to take over for the Senate, the seat until the next election. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there has to be a procedure somewhere to do that, and I believe it is the state.
Well,
governor.
I believe it's always the governor appoints that for the remainder of the term. If I remember correctly, I mean maybe
I think you're right.
Florida has an obscure statute to not do that, but not that I've heard of. But yeah, no, I mean the governor always usually appoints the remaining term. That's why people were freaking out thinking that Trump was going to appoint people from conservative states with liberal governors, and he was going to, the governor would just appoint a liberal for the rest of the term as a senator. That's always the big, So yeah, I'm pretty sure the governor can just appoint. He'll just give him Gates's seat, and I would hope that he go for Paxton because. He's just as the establishment is just as afraid of Paxton as Gates.
I think they're more afraid of Paxton. I think they were
so.
concerned that Gates was going to, go to town and do a bunch of.
But the thing is,
freedom ride or something.
But the thing is Paxton will do the same thing, but he'll just do it more in a quiet, orderly way without making noise about it. See, he's not the loud ass guy like Gates, where he's like, I need this, I need to. No, he's just going to do all the procedural and just file cases. It won't be like Gates where he's going around making press conferences. It'll just be a machine. Paxton will just be a machine. Remember, he took on the entire Texas establishment, the Bush establishment in Texas, the entire Texas House tried to impeach him because they're so scared of him. So that says a lot. The entire Republican establishment tried to impeach him. So what do you think the Democrats feel about him? Because he's gone after He's gone after Houston. He's gone after Austin for like when they've tried to do like basic income. When they've tried to do, he rails on these liberal jurisdictions. So I mean, I would honestly be more happy with Ken Paxton, because I think Paxton knows how corrupt these pieces of shit, even the Republicans are. You know, Gates. The thing is Gates is he hasn't sat there and performed like he hasn't been an AG. Like Texas is a monstrous state. And if you can run that state as an AG like he's doing, you know, I have faith he can run it. And there's nothing the establishment Republicans can really say against Paxton. He's never had any problems. He's never done anything wrong. He's never had any kind of, you know, how would you say, superficial nonsense that the media would care about. They're just going to scream that he's, you know, he helped, he sued Texas didn't allow the Biden border to enforce their borders. They put in stuff when they were but that's not going to matter. Like the buoys and the Rio Grande River and all that. Like that was all him fighting in the Supreme Court to keep that up. And that's what I'm saying. Like I would be more happy with Paxton if you want Gates was more of just it's a troll. Like if he would have gotten in there, it would have been just like a meltdown all the time just because he's there. I wouldn't know how effective he would have been, but he would have caused meltdowns for, you know.
Okay. All right. What do you think about the other choices?
Linda McMahon will be good for education. I think she's run a big business, so she knows how to cut, you know, costs and decrease funding and get things like that. I think Tulsi is good for the national defense. What was she? The NIS.
DNI. Yeah, she's DNI.
And so, you know, I think that's a good pick. Let's see what else. Has he announced who's Commerce Secretary or who is Treasury yet?
Yeah, and I have the list. I'm sorry, I don't have it at hand.
Who's the Treasury? I haven't seen who he's announced for Treasury Secretary yet.
I don't know if he's announced Treasury Secretary. Arthur Dyer
that's a big
says,
one, yeah.
I do not see Governor DeSantis appointing a guy with pending minor sex and drug charges. DeSantis does not take kindly to poor personal character. The thing is that those charges are completely hearsay. There's been no evidence whatsoever. It was a hit piece done by the Democrats in his district and outside of his district.
Yeah, and it was nothing. That's it's different than
literally
an actual
nothing
charge.
to it.
It's more that it's just too much of the Democrats are just going to rail on that, and it's better to just move away from it. Don't give them any ammunition to keep crying about.
Yeah, and matter of fact, since Trump singled him out, those charges have been mysteriously quiet. Like nobody's saying anything about it.
Yeah, the guy, okay, like this people, if you've read actually like there's a reason the DOJ never charged him. The guy that they were using, okay, it's an intricate little web of nonsense if I remember the story, but from what I remember, the guy that they were going to use as evidence to push against him actually was convicted like 10 years ago of planting pedophilia on a fellow or on a opponent an opponent's political race.
And then as Angel Berber accurately points out, the DOJ then investigated for 3 years and determined that there was nothing. They couldn't find any corroboration. They couldn't. So once their key witness had been compromised, they didn't want to let it go because they needed something on Gates to keep, you know, to just kind of keep that shadow over him. And the DOJ investigated and investigated.
And not just that, but what's even funnier is once the DOJ started investigating and interviewing the girl called the other guy that's involved, that supporting witness that was in prison apparently, and got him to pay for her to have a lawyer so she could have a lawyer tell the DOJ to stop talking to her because she doesn't want to talk.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there. There's nothing there. But it's just the thing is the Democrats are so hysterical. They're so on knife's edge.
Oh, they're freaked out, man.
Yeah, they're on knife's edge. And honestly, like, I don't know, it might have been a tool. He might have just done it as a prodding mechanism. I mean, just like a war, you're prodding your enemy's, fortifications. He might have just done it just to see the reaction and see what could have occurred, who were the ones that would have caused the most ruckus in the Republicans. So now he kind of has an idea. So now I think he can present like Paxton out there or whoever he's going to do, and I think it'll be an easier
question about DeSantis is if DeSantis moves up, will he still be able to? Because he's been appointed to a position on the cabinet as well, I think, or he's being considered for a position.
Who, DeSantis? I don't think he'll put DeSantis in there. No, not whatsoever at all. I don't think I think DeSantis is. He's DeSantis is a good guy. He's a good governor, but he is kind of like, he is still a little bit of a Mitt Romney, McCain type, because he's beholden to a lot of tourist nonsense, and tourist nonsense is liberalism. There's a reason he won't push constitutional carry in Florida. Okay, because he wants all the white dykes and the bullheaded bitch like soccer moms to sit there and keep going to Florida and feel like, oh my God, I can't ski. I can't believe that. Oh my God, I could be walking in this park and people have that. Oh my God. And that's all that matters to him. That's kind of his perspective. He just wants tourist money for Florida.
You gotta admire Flow State here. Before, and I actually skipped something. Where was it? I just saw it. Yeah, all right. So Mr. reminds us that U.S. has removed the only aircraft carrier in the Middle East. I don't remember where they moved it to, but I don't think it's gone very far. I think it's still kind of in the area, but I think this is
in the Mediterranean. I think it's in Italy.
Yeah, they're still within range, but I think this is posturing by the Biden administration to kind of, again, I really think that the outgoing administration is doing everything they possibly can do to put things in disarray for the incoming administration without looking like it's in disarray. And let's see, where was that? There it was. Arthur Dias says, wasn't the House ethic report about to come out, but then because he stepped down, the House ethics system no longer applies to him? No, I don't think that's true. It wouldn't have mattered.
Okay, well, when he stepped down, they had to close the investigation for the congressional investigation. But the thing is it was hacked by a leaker, and apparently it got leaked out there. But that's why we know what the investigation was. We know what it pertained to. That's why we have there's emails that were leaked and everything, his response to certain email, everything like that. I mean, it's all out there if you want to really go. I was reading a couple of things yesterday, but yeah, it's pretty much, it was more of just a political fire. It was going to cause too much disruption for other nominees and stuff. So I think that's pretty much what's going to go on. They're just going to move him to the side. I mean, hell, maybe they might appoint him to deputy attorney general. I don't know. I mean, for the Southern District of New York, that's like the second most powerful district. You could probably just put him there and just try all these people from DC in there, and he still has jurisdiction. So. But anyways, I got to hop off. I'll be back later, Grid.
All right, cool, man. Thanks for the input. We'll see you. Welcome, Flow State, standing there ominously.
What up, Host State?
In your very long hoodie.
Yeah, it's my ominous hoodie.
Yeah, okay.
It's better than. Have you seen Glenn's banana hammock?
No, I have not.
He turned on the thirst trap for the ladies last night on Mills.
Oh, did he?
Yep. He doesn't want to admit it because he's a pious married man of God, but
yes, they're having cold flashes, so I heated them up.
Look, it's not your fault if they lust after you.
That's funny. The Briar Wolf, that's what we were just talking about, actually, was that Getz is most likely, the most likely move right now is Gates being appointed to Rubio's Senate seat. And in theory, DeSantis can do that all by himself. He just signs the paper and it happens. And Arthur Dias' position is that that is unlikely to happen because of the quote unquote pending charges from the various kind of made up cases against Getz, which are I'm not going to say it, but yeah, the child stuff, and there was some other inappropriate behavior, supposedly, which there's never been any evidence of anywhere, anytime. There's never been an indictment, nothing. It's just, it's just somebody said something, and therefore they have to investigate. Yeah, and don't worry about it. I know you just came in, man. I just wanted to catch up. So, Flow State, what is your opinion of what's been going on the past couple of weeks with the prepping for the transition coming up in January? And what do you have any idea? Or do you have any thoughts on as to how that's going to end up looking?
I don't even pay attention to it. I think that it's performative. And I mean, if you consider how long it takes to learn a job properly, and the short amount of time the president has, and then I don't know, I'm subscribed to the White House YouTube channel. They have speeches or something damn near every single day, and traveling. So if you're flying around the world for photo ops and delivering speeches constantly, that's a full-time job. You can't learn. I just really think that our national politics is a made-for-TV drama to a large extent, and the powers that be are the ones we've never heard of.
Okay.
Not to piss all over the sporting event.
No, that's fine. I mean, I disagree, but that's okay. I think that, man, I don't know. I don't know. I think the position of president is mostly important in the people that he puts into place in the cabinet, which is why we're spending so much time on this currently. And why the Democrats are losing their brain cells over and over. So, guys in the chat, calm down. It's okay. Just relax.
What are they losing their minds about? Raging Patriot with all the penis-shaped edibles.
Jantix and Nick, the vengeful truther, seem to have at odds over Easy, which that conversation really doesn't belong here.
Speakeasy?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
Well, they're on different sides. And I was actually in the chat when Speakeasy kind of went off on Nick, and I do think that Speakeasy didn't really need to. I think Easy could have been a lot more mature about the way he handled the deal with Nick, and I think Nick did okay. So that's about as far as I'm willing to talk about it.
Fair enough.
We just need to move on, and it's you guys. Look, I've been on VK since. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't know why he started in on you either, Jantix. I think TVT maybe just picked up on something and just kind of didn't want to let it go, and that's fine. But we need to, again, this is a continental here, guys. You can't be arguing and conducting business in my chat, if you don't mind. Talk about the topics. I love that. And talk about Tim Homan, talk about DeSantis, talk about whatever. But let's, we could talk about the deportations, talk about all the cool stuff, but let's other channels just leave that out of it, okay? So
you can talk about all the bullshit in my chat.
Yeah, you can go to Flow States and just rip it up. He loves that shit.
Actually, when the panel gets going, I just largely quit paying attention to chat.
Yeah, I do too. Normally I wouldn't have picked up on it, but it was like so over the top. I think that it was.
But I do think that part of the behavior of active chatters is it's a social event, right? Streams are social events, and the chats become sort of their own thing, right? I sort of feel like we could probably just turn on our stream and walk off screen, and half the people would still stay around to hang out with each other in the chats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. I've also heard that Flow Stage channel is clothing optional, but you know, I
Depends on
don't.
who it is.
I've heard that. I don't want to, I don't want to,
You want the
I have
secret
no personal
unlisted Rumble
experience.
link, don't you?
Yeah, I don't have any personal experience. I don't want any personal experience.
Thou dost protest too much.
You guys keep that
Degeneracy.
keep that degeneracy on your side of the fence. And apparently Jess does that all the time. That bully for her. Good job. Flow State, do you think that your life is going to improve over the next 3 years with Trump in the White House?
So if I use last term as sort of a measure, then well, I think that we're going to continue to feel the effects of shutting off the world economy for 2 years. So I'm not optimistic in that regard. It really just depends on what he goes for. Some of the stuff that he espouses, I much prefer, and some of it, though, particularly the stuff that doesn't get a lot of attention, I dislike.
Like what?
Well, on his Agenda 47, he proposed some insanely socialistic things like suing. I swear to God, this is one of them. He wanted to start something called the American Academy, that is free college to all U.S. citizens, and it is funded through the money that would be received from suing private colleges that hustle a woke ideology. So it sounds hyperbolic, but
yeah, it does. It sounds odd. I may have to listen to that again just to make sure I understand.
No, it was on his Agenda 47 platform. That's now been replaced by the party's platform since he was this was a few months ago. But if you go to my channel, I did a 3-part review on the whole Agenda 47 and went through all of it, and so it's still up there at least. But yeah, there's one. He's proposed the death penalty for drug dealers a handful of times, which of course would have been.
You object to?
I have a little bit of a personal beef with
interest. You have personal interest there. I got you. Can someone please do something with Are We Not Men? Donate or something. He's like losing his shit out in the chat. He's showing tummies and shaving arms. I don't know what.
Oh, you want to see my tummy? I wasn't even paying attention to the chat again.
Yeah. It's really interesting the way he's going. But anyway, he's like yelling, and it's like he's daytime drunk or something. So we don't.
But the thing about Trump is that he gets away with a lot more shit than Biden ever could because he says the right thing. So he spent. I mean, he printed more money than any president ever in U.S. history. The lockdowns happened on his watch. I mean, basically all the worst stuff happened on his watch, and there's a ton of excuse. Every Trump fan has an excuse ready for him or two, but the fact remains that I think that he's a Pied Piper, and so I'm a little bit concerned that they're going to use him to sneak through bullshit while patriotic Americans are feeling proud.
Okay.
This little sleight of hand.
Yeah, it's interesting. What? So, because I always felt that Trump was a moderate, right? Like I agree with a lot of things he says, but some of it's just kind of like, whatever. If you're going to if I had to pick a point with anything that Trump's doing right now, is I'm really interested to see how this RFK being in the Department of Food or Agriculture, whatever, Department of Health, I guess, or whatever it is. I'm really interested to see how that's going to work out. I don't know how much power that RFK is being given to actually do anything, and this is where it all comes down to, right? Like, we don't know if they're going to actually be able to do anything, or if it's just going to be a bunch of rhetoric for the next 4 years. One of the things that one of the problems I've had with Trump is that in his last administration, he started off really good, but he chose poorly when it came to his staffers, right? And now I'm sure that some of those, like Pence, right? Like, he had to pick Pence because that's what the party wanted him to do, and he needed the party's backing. I don't think anybody wanted him to pick Vance this time, so that shows me a little bit that maybe Trump is kind of doing this on his own without a bunch of party backing. And he just doesn't care whether he has it or not. And the party more or less had to come to his heel instead of him going to them. And that gives me hope, especially looking over his cabinet selections. Because, like, I never would have thought that Mattis was, part of the machine or swamp or whatever you want to call it. And yet he really was. At the end of the day, he wanted to stay in the stands. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted, he was all for this. He didn't care about this, how much money we spent or how many troops we sent over there. It's just, continue furthering the amount of money that we're sending over. Where Trump is like, no, I want to get us out, right? Like, I want to end this. And I'm encouraged this time that he has more knowledge, right, about who to pick. Because, as you aptly pointed out, by the way, that was very smart of you to point it out, that the president has a lot of shit to handle. So it's not, he is just the tip of the iceberg. It's really the cabinet that he appoints as to what gets done and how it gets done, and including things like the lockdowns from the last time, right? Like, he trusted Fauci, which we all know was a mistake.
Well, I don't think it was a mistake. You know that he gave on his very last day in office, he gave Fauci an award.
He did, but that's when when most people still believed Fauci, right?
No, Trump's very last day in office. That was well after nobody trusted Fauci.
No, I didn't. I think we still kind of trusted Fauci Trump's last day in office. It was when Biden took over, and we were all like, okay, it's time for all this stuff to end. And it never ended, ever. So even now, people still do that. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's I just feel like that I'm hoping that, and Trump's cabinet picks give me encouragement that he's acting more as that he's acting more in his own interest and his own, like, not his own interest, but his own ideas. He's able to act on those more than what the swamp calls him to do. And it's an interesting thing. I think I'm pretty encouraged right now, actually, especially with looking at the cabinet. The cabinet is pretty solid right now. I really do like the so.
May I respond to a comment in the chat?
Yeah, go. Yeah, do whatever you need to do, man.
Angel Berber, be specific. He said, my issue with Flo's take is that it is the standard libertarian take of blame while presenting impractical solutions filled with ethical contradictions all over the place. That's too obtuse for me to do anything with. Be specific.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, my governor, we never really totally locked down, but certainly all of those things on the news had people scared to death and doing all that kind of stuff. So we don't need to get too far into this because, it's water under the bridge. I'm just looking at what actually happened while the big T was actually in office. And then of course, once he started running for president, all bets were off, right? Because then he's too busy campaigning to actually pay attention to anything.
Right.
And I don't know.
The whole thing, if you take a step back from Trump's entire trajectory, it just feels too much like a movie. He gets in against all odds. He stomps out Hillary Clinton. There's that big thing, and then he's had the dramatic in office stuff, and
sure,
he fell from grace and had several assassination attempts. Got hit in the ear. Great photo op, and then miraculously made it back in. It's the hero's journey.
Yeah,
and I don't know that I think real life is like that.
Yeah, but real life can be like that.
It can be.
And apparently it was, because I don't think it was scripted. I honestly believe that what I find interesting, and I keep saying this, and people don't I don't know why no one else realizes this, but Donald Trump tried to run as the Democrat candidate several times, and he would get past like the 4th or 5th week in the primary, and then he would drop out or whatever. And it was only when he decided to run as a Republican that he gained any kind of traction, because the Democrat Party would not allow Trump to become president. And I thought that was really interesting. I don't know why he couldn't win the primary. Maybe he wasn't quite left enough. Maybe he didn't have the support within the party. Or whatever it was, but it's very interesting to me that I think he ran twice or 3 times in the Democrat primary for the presidential election. And he would always bail, right? He'd spend $1 million or $2 million, and then that was it. He's out. So, and I find it really interesting that people forget that. But I actually have a conspiracy thing for you that I ran across this morning. And I know that you're going to have like a really interesting opinion.
Lay it on me.
Talking about, sorry?
Lay it on me.
And yeah, since we're already talking about kind of some mythology, have you heard the I guess it's kind of a conspiracy theory about how the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes has somehow managed to delete all of the video footage, all of the information about Ed McMahon giving away prizes for the sweepstakes winners.
You're talking about the Mandela effect stuff?
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Mandela effect drives me nuts.
Yeah, because I actually remember all of the commercials because they were so fucking annoying about Ed McMahon coming to your door with the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. I remember that vividly and clearly. But you can't. I heard today that I never realized that it was all gone. I just didn't care anything about it.
I don't know if it is or not, but here's the thing that I hate about Mandela effect. They have all sorts, because it's not ever anchored in reality. It's anchored in memory. There is no touch point to present day reality. It's suggestibility and groupthink and memory mixed together, and all of those are notoriously weak. I don't know that I think it would be especially hard if let's say you've got government level AI. Just sweep the internet, say get rid of this dude's face. And then you can get everybody, preoccupied by chasing their own tails and looking for things like different board logos or C3PO silver leg or whatever, all these things. And at the end of the day, I just think it's groupthink and memory. Also, the other thing about memory is that the strength of our memories, first of all, memories are not strong. They're not reliable. But the strength of a memory is tied to the emotional impact of the memory. And so if you observe the Mandela effect phenomenon, it's almost always centered around like some sort of corporate logo or entertainment programming. None of that is emotion. It has a strong emotional impact on anybody. So it even happens with in places where you would expect to have weaker memory,
right?
But
yeah,
I
agree with it. I thought I ran across that this morning, and I'm like, no, I remember that for sure. But there's a lot of suggestibility, and now we've sparked chat into a brilliant discussion, which is awesome. The Arthur Dye is going crazy in the chat. She's making up for lost time. Because she hasn't been around a lot lately, so she's just got to, go with it.
Yeah, the Fruit of the Loom thing. And there's shit that gets me too. The Chick-fil-A, the spelling of Chick-fil-A. I specifically remember having looked it up because I was going to text Katie and say, "Do you want some Chick-fil-A?" And it was spelled the opposite way of how it is now. Who knows? But at the end of the day, this entire thing has no touch point to reality. All of it is based on memory. And then the only way people find out about this stuff is just like this. Hey, do you remember when da 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 da?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I gotta push so Arthur Dye, the spending bills that Trump signed were not his bills. He didn't create those. Those were Congress created those to alleviate the COVID. They were what did they call them? Stimulus bills, right? And you can't.
He's responsible. It happened on his watch.
It did happen on his watch, and but you can't. You need to be intellectually honest in the argument. You can't say they were his bills. You can say, "Hey, he signed the bill, and he shouldn't have." But then, what should he have done? Right?
Then we have to quit calling Obamacare if we're going to be intellectually honest in one direction.
I actually don't generally call it Obamacare unless it's really the only way to get my point across. Actually Obama did sponsor that. Like he did say, "Hey, this is what I want." But Trump was, I think Trump really fucked up in that deal. It's one of those things where I don't know that if I'd been in that situation, I would have done anything different, because on the one hand, you're telling everybody to stay home for this pandemic because you're believing what all these health professionals are saying, and that you've got New York threatening to close the city. How many times did New York City threaten to close the city? Like 3 or 4? I think they actually did it once. I was there one time when they were threatening to close it, and you were like, "Well, you're not going to be able to get out, and if you have tags from these states on your car, or if you try and fly in from these states, you can't fly in from. You couldn't fly in from Tennessee. Yeah, you couldn't fly in from Tennessee because Tennessee didn't have a mask mandate.
That's wild.
Yeah, there was a lot of wild shit going on that people don't understand or don't bother to remember, right? And because all we really remember is that Trump signed the stimulus check bill, and that did, you're correct, that did contribute to inflation. Of course it did. He was also listening to all of the health professionals and the CDC and everybody else that said, well, you can't, we got to have, social distancing. You've got to have masks. You've got to have all of this stuff. And they had the ventilators.
Did you fall for it?
So what's that?
Did you fall for it?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Do you think that we're smarter than the president? I never got COVID. Right.
I never even got sick because everybody else was being so careful. I never even got a cold during that time.
Yeah, well, we cured the cold during that time. If you look at the numbers, the common cold was completely gone because of the masks. That is what they say.
Flu. It was
the flu. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't a
my
common cold.
point
It
is
was, we
that
cured flu because of that. But
the president is the most powerful being that we can prove exists at all, right? I'll make that claim.
Yeah,
To think that this guy
like
is dumber than we are doesn't make sense. That doesn't.
And
hold water.
I feel like we're riding the lightning talking about this in this on YouTube. But
you said the word, not me.
I know, but when we talk about all of this stuff, man, it's crazy to as we remember back and we put specific blame in specific places, but we don't. One of the things that always shocks me is how everyone in Congress was calling for stimulus checks and economic relief and shutting off borders and all of this nonsense, and none of them have ever taken the blame for it, right? Because they all put it on Trump, they all put it on Biden in both cases, which is wrong. I mean, the president is effectively, the guy who has to sign off on it. But even if he hadn't signed off on, what I think people do not also remember is when Congress proposed the stimulus checks and proposed the shutdowns, they literally said, if you veto this, we will simply push it through anyway.
That's the excuse, right?
Well, I mean, but is that the reality? Right?
I mean, the reality is
I believe that is what happened. I've read the news. I mean, obviously, what's reported in the news is, can be flexible, I guess, but it's I don't know.
The reality is that we Americans are trained to be childish our whole life.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And if you listen, like, it's kind of shocking to listen to like a press conference with the president, because the reporters are asked, this dude's the president. He's not responsible for like your family's electric bill, right? And just some of the questions that the press lobs at him, like, what do you say to people who missed Dancing with the Stars this week? I don't know. It just
so Arthur Daya, I agree with you. I agree that he should have. Honestly, I think Trump should have taken a stand and vetoed it. But he's in front of an election that he needs the moderates. He needed the independents, and the independents were not going to vote for somebody who vetoed a bill that everyone was told that they needed to survive.
Yeah, I mean, he, with the shutdowns in place, not having done the bill would have been worse.
Yeah.
The problem is the shutdowns, not the bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they would have just, right. Arthur Dye, you're right. People wanted their checks, but understand the way government works. I know you do. Don't be disingenuous here, right? Like the Dems controlled the House, and which Angel Berber just actually, I believe they may have controlled the Senate and the House at that point. There's just no way it would have he was going to win that, and he needed to come out of that in the election as doing what was necessary. Right. This is what we were told was necessary. I personally, I feel like that I still feel like it was the wrong thing to do. I didn't like the idea of the stimulus check. I didn't like any of it. I didn't like the shutdowns. And Angel Berber's correct. Trump had no control. So this is a situation Trump was put in, and this is unique because the governors of the state controlled the shutdowns, and every governor shut their state down for the most part, right? At least in the beginning.
Kansas was the first state to shut down schools.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yep. And so, but everybody wanted their stimulus check from Congress and not their state government. So the president has no control over the shutdown, but yet he has to sign off on everyone getting a check to be able to live and have money to afford things. And this is why I don't lay this at Trump's feet. Sure, he could have vetoed it. Congress would have simply pushed it through. He wouldn't have been. He would have stood even less of a chance in the election, which he lost anyway. So maybe he should have vetoed it. I think it would have been a waste of time, effort, and political currency to do so. I think it would have been horrible if he had. It would have been way worse if he had vetoed it. And that's how. And as you said, Flo, that is how government works. Trump knew he was going to be blamed regardless, so he just did the best he could. Flo, why is it that you're always eating on camera?
Because she takes care of me. Okay. And it's when I'm sitting down, when I'm not in front of this computer, like I just came in from outside taking a, I think I mentioned I'm taking a car apart. I'm parting out a car.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had not mentioned that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've got a Cadillac SRX that I'm parting out.
I got you. Okay.
I sit here so much that anytime I'm not on screen, I'm not sitting down.
I mean, I'm kind of in that same boat, right? Like first of all, I can't sit still anyway, for very long. And so it's crazy for me that I have to sit here this long. And so I have to move. I have to move a lot. And I like right now, and I do I still do car stuff. I'm not parting out a Cadillac. I've got a bunch of Mini Coopers that I'm finishing out. I bought one for my wife as a surprise. Couldn't get it done in time, so we bought another one as a gap filler. And then I needed a part for that one that was going to be like pretty expensive. So I bought an entire car to get that one part, figuring that if I had to, I'd part it out or I could fix it later or whatever. And
what part was it?
The cylinder head. So the cylinder head was like, so a new cylinder head was like $2,300 or $2,800, whatever it was. And a used cylinder head was like $1,900. And I bought an entire car for $1,300. And so I was like, and the guy told, it needs it needed a timing chain kit done on it. And the guy was just tired. It was, it was like this guy's kid's car. And he was just tired of putting money into this kid's car. He didn't take care of it or whatever. And I just was like, hey, how much you want for it? Yeah, he was asking $15,000. I gave him $1,300, put it on my trailer, drug it home, and ended up not needing the cylinder head. So I was like, well, now I'm stuck with this cylinder head, and or stuck with this car, and it's in my garage right now. I'm doing the timing chain. I'm going to pull the oil pan off of it and clean all the plastic bits out of it where it destroys the timing chain guides, and cleaning intake, all of the stuff, all of the things you do. And I've been painting my airplane in there, but the weather has turned a little too cool to do that and get good results. So I just kind of
you take it outside. You paint it outside. You don't paint it in the hangar, do you?
So I don't have a hangar here at my house. I have it in my garage, but I just have the fuselage in my garage right now, and the tail feathers, and saying it's a fabric covered airplane. So I haven't actually done this before. So I had to learn how to cover an airplane with fabric, and it's like this weird paint adhesive sun barrier crap that you have to put on it, and you have to roll it on. I'm used to spray painting,
like bed liner or something.
It's really it's almost like that Plastidip stuff that you put on your tools or whatever, but it's like the most amazing adhesive you've ever thought of. Like it's crazy, and but you can spray it like paint, but they want you to roll the first 2 coats on so it gets down in the weave of the fabric. And so I hadn't done that before, so that's pretty, I got that done. And I've just pushed that over to one side while I finish up this car. And then once I get the car out of the garage, I've got, I need to go get, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the plane that I'm painting, whether I'm going to take it to the hangar and try and paint it in the hangar or not. So
well,
I don't know.
If it might be, you probably have to, if it gets
much colder, yeah, it's going to be, it's hard. I mean, my garage, I can heat my garage, but it's so tight in there that it's just not a good idea to try and paint it in the garage. So I don't know. Just, I need to do other things. So should have a TTS triggering.
Yeah. I did one of my side hustles for a little while. I was doing body
John
work.
Dunning donated $10 super chat.
But
just a question. Does today's government truly represent a product of the founders and Constitution had intended? Or has it become a monster in disguise?
So that's a great question, John Dunning. I just posted it up there so Flo could see it. Flo, what do you think? Does today's government truly represent a product of the founders and Constitution had intended, or has it become a monster in disguise?
I think it was always intended to be a monster in disguise. How's that for a both and neither?
It's interesting. It's an interesting point of view. I think that the original intent of the government was to stay small. And really kind of endorse that like frontiersy freedom thing, but it just continuously expands. Government always expands no matter what you do.
Yep.
And you really have to. It really takes a major shift in policy and decision to get it to shrink. And right now we're just not seeing that.
The nature of a government agency. I mean, if you've ever been involved in one. Every year it's spend a little bit more than you were budgeted so that you can get more budget next year. It's a constant growth model. And I don't know how you can look at a country the size of the United States and ever have thought that something so massive could be a small government.
Well, I think that I think it could be. It's just we have gotten to the point where the average citizen is such an idiot, it can't be.
The average citizen, like Raging Patriot?
Oh, don't make fun of that guy. He's a cool guy.
What about We Are Not Men?
I don't know. Are we not men? I
call him We Are Not Men because he's not a man.
Yeah, I don't know,
but I agree. That was the thing that like the eye opener that I can never unsee from the shutdown is when they first put like the mandate into effect.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing it on TV or YouTube, whatever I was watching, and turning to Katie and going, "Well, they'll never be able to enforce that here." And then I walked outside an hour later, and literally everybody was just muzzled up. I was like, what the hell? I've been surrounded by idiots my whole life and I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat, right? Like I remember I was going to have so I was a match director at that point, and I was I had a monthly match, and I called the range. I'm like, hey, I'm going to come down Friday and set up. And you're like, no, we're shut down. I'm like, the fuck? Like, yeah, the sheriff wants us to shut down, so we're gonna shut down. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me! You're out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and you're shutting down. Everything is outside, and we're shooting. Like, honestly, how? I mean,
Do you remember the mandates from the recommendations from the sex department about gosh, what did it suggest? It was absurd. Suggested like instead of having contact with people, like sexual contact, instead of having sexual contact, try other things like web chatting and masturbating together. I swear to God, these were some of the suggestions that I know, live in.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Glenn woke up. What's up, Glenn?
Glenn heard masturbation and he just sat up out of his sleep.
Somebody's echoing.
That's Glenn.
That is Flo. That's his butthole.
Bungholio. I'd never seen anything like it, and I remember there was a match director even after masks were optional, and the ranges were opening back up. There was a match director that's like, "Hey, we're not going to do a match because, you know, some of us are older folk, and we don't need to be exposing them to the potential for this illness." And I'm like, "You got
just tell them like, hey, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. God created it. Come on."
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was you know, it was funny because I never got COVID. My wife has had it twice. My son has had it at least once, maybe twice. My mother-in-law's had the vid like 3 or 4 times. She just gets it. I don't know why. I never got it. And
the trick is to just not get tested, and then you won't ever get it.
Well, no. And so what's funny is like, so my wife comes back from
I think you might be onto something there, Flo.
So here's so my wife went to New York for a meeting or something, and then came back, and she was like, "Oh, I you know, feel like I've got COVID," and she goes in, she gets tested, sure enough, and knowing that her parents will freak out, rather than go home to my nice home and sending her parents to a hotel, no. We go to a hotel for a week. It's a nice hotel, but still living in a hotel for a week. And I promise you, my wife only had symptoms for like 6 hours, 8 hours.
Well, she probably has, long C now.
And so the
asymptomatic. That's right.
So you got inconvenienced, is what you said. Like you had to be inconvenienced to go to a hotel
for days, and I'm sitting here like
they had free range of the house.
Like
poor baby.
I'm sitting in a hotel, and my
did it have an indoor?
The same air, doing all of it,
Was
and
there
so
a pool?
they test my wife, and she's negative, and then they test me, and they did because I had been there, and I said, I've never had COVID, I've never, whatever. And they literally did they did the quick test, then they did the shove it up the nostrils, send it off to the lab test, and every test they could to prove that I had COVID. I'm like, I don't have the vid, man. I don't. And then my son got it, and same deal. He and I spent like 3 or 4 days in a hotel. He had a great time playing video games, and I had a great time not having a great time, because I'm locked in a hotel room with a 12-year-old, but or 11-year-old at the time, and it's just like crazy amount of energy because he's bouncing off the walls after the second day. And once again, take my son in, test negative, everything's great, and go back to school. They absolutely convinced that I have to have the vid, and nope. And then and when the vid first started, before the shutdown started happening, I did a match, and I did all the setup and everything, and I worked maybe a little too hard. I didn't have a lot of help, and I came home from the match, and I was like, I was not in good shape, and I felt like somebody had I felt like I'd spent a day sparring with somebody, and they were like giving me elbows to my kidneys. You guys have done some of that kind of stuff, right? So you understand what I'm talking about. And I was like, but I wasn't, because normally when that happens, you have a little blood in your urine, and I didn't have any. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I literally feel like I just went like 5 rounds with somebody that really knows how to beat my ass. And but I went to bed. I never go to bed during the day. I went to bed, something like 10 hours or some crap like that. Never had a fever, but you know, it was just in bad shape. And my wife was convinced I had the vid, and sure enough, I go in and they test me for everything, strep throat, everything. And finally the one doctor, the actual doctor that was there was like, how much water have you been drinking? I'm like, you know, a little, but maybe I'm a little low. And he's like, I think you were like really dehydrated, like extremely dehydrated. And you just push yourself too hard. Well, it could be. And sure enough, like 2 days later, totally fine. Everything's great. You know, no big deal. They tested me for strep, 4 different kinds of flus and the vid and everything. And they were absolutely convinced I had it. And I didn't have it. Nothing. So I don't know. But it was the vid was an interesting time. And I think that the way that what we saw was just so crazy. And people, do you remember the lines in Walmart, the little stickers they put on the floor that said, you know, you go this way, and you were supposed to go one direction down each aisle.
It was infuriating. Yeah.
And they'd only let so many people inside the store at a time. They had the guy out front with a counter, like 50 people in an entire Walmart.
We joined Sam's Club instead of Costco because of the way that they treat it. You know, because at Sam's Club and Walmart, if you walked in, the person would be like, do you have a thing or do you need a thing? And if you just said no, but didn't break stride, they wouldn't chase you. At Costco, they met us in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah. So that's why I to this day still use Home Depot. Home Depot didn't care, but they had a lot
better than Lowe's.
Yeah. And Lowe's literally had a line out front. They had people that would keep you. And if the line got too long, they'd tell you to go wait in your car. And I'm like, what? No, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. It was nuts.
Yeah.
So
I was very uncooperative at that point. I'm pretty sure that my attitude towards the things were one of the key reasons why I ended up getting fired shortly after the lockdown started.
Oh.
Of course, they laid off a lot of people. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. But yeah, because I was the quality control manager over a precast plant, and so even though I was at the pores, I had enough meetings inside the office where they were supposed to wear them, and I just
wouldn't.
I just wouldn't. Yeah, no, I don't know if you can imagine. I'm not a good employee.
I could see you being a less than optimal employee.
Yeah, no, I don't work for other people well.
I consider myself unemployable. That's why I was always in business for myself. Or I worked in positions where I basically was my own boss anyway. Because otherwise, you know, it was bad. So I was always unemployable.
Yeah. Well, that was in 2020, and I haven't had a W-2 job since then. So that's my goal. Of course, YouTube doesn't pay as well as concrete does, but whatever. Well, especially since I keep getting demonetized and messed with.
Yeah, how's that going for you? How because we're kind of winding down the show now anyway. How's that going for you?
It's going pretty bad. Right after my 2-week timeout rolled off, I got an email back then from YouTube going, "Oh, hey, you know, we're responding to you now." So I just responded to him yesterday and waiting to hear back because, I mean, they should push this strike off entirely, I believe. But yesterday, a couple people said, you know, when somebody's live, there's the little red circle that lights up on their icon. I had a couple people tell me that mine didn't light up. And actually, here, one of them, I put in the private chat a short where Cynthia actually filmed it. So I don't know what's going on with Flow State, but that channel is cursed. So I'm I'm still using it. It's where I've built up things, but I'm trying to grow powder dusty as quick as I can.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Yeah, that's I'll watch it closer a little later. But you've been having a lot of trouble, man.
Mm-hmm.
You it's like you really pissed in somebody's Wheaties.
And I don't know if you know Caucasian Sasquatch at all, but he's he understands YouTube streets more than I do, and that's his theory. He thinks that at some point I did or said something that pissed off somebody, that I pissed off an employee within YouTube.
Somebody personally
that somebody inside, personally did not like me, and so that's haunting me. And it's I mean, I don't have a better theory because I don't really, most of my content is not anything that significant or political. I don't even really hit most of those topics anymore. But
yeah, I'm like far worse than you are.
Yeah, I don't even engage it anymore. I think it's all nonsense. But I guess around the time of the lockdowns, that was not my sentiment. And so back then, that's probably when I caught a hater.
Gotcha.
I don't know who could hate me.
Yeah, I think that list is probably long.
Let me tell you, nothing will let you. There are people that you've offended and completely forgot about, but who remember you, and they all come out the minute that you find yourself in jail.
What was that? Was it movie Billy Madison or whatever, where he calls the guy up from high school and he says, "Hey man, I just want to apologize to you. I know we kind of picked on you and everything, and just want to say, I just want to say I'm sorry about that. I was a dick." And he hangs up the phone. The guy turns around and takes his name off the list.
Yeah, it's just like that.
You need to start making amends, brother.
Oh no, I've already hit bottom. I've seen people bounce out that I completely forgot about. And if I've offended you in the past, you can suck my dick.
I'm going to offend you more in the future.
Right.
I'm doubling down, bitches.
Yep.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's tough out on the harsh streets. The crazy thing is, guys,
except for I got to make a caveat. Except for whoever at YouTube I pissed off, I apologize to.
And I hear that Flo can maybe hook it up with some crispy something or the other, get you taken care of. Get you a little,
You need a fraudulent fundraiser. Holler at your boy.
You need a toothless BJ. Flo's going to make that happen for you.
Yeah, I'll call Glenn.
Oh,
Glenn is my blowjob connect.
He's not even paying attention right now. He's editing videos. He's
probably giving one.
He's probably trying to make money right now. That's what he's doing. So,
right on. Well, thank you for having me up. I'm gonna go keep working on this, taking this vehicle apart. Salute to the chat.
Yeah, go make some money, man. Send parts across the United States.
Be good.
See you, man. Later. And that was Flow State, ladies and gentlemen. He is having a great afternoon, and apparently he's pissed somebody off, which is shocking, I guess. Glenn, you still there, buddy? Glenn. Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Glenn, what do you know about YouTube hit groups? Is that a real thing? Is that
YouTube hit groups?
Yeah, people go around like trying to take down your channel and shit just for the fun of it.
I've heard of that, but I have not seen it. I just like it's like a rumor or like
urban legend
conspiracy. Like, oh, they're gonna come get you.
Hmm.
Or you got like this hit group or this group of people don't like you, so they kind of just like gang up on you and they try to like, you know, dox you or get your channel shut down.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever talked about this because I don't know enough about it. But I was in a chat recently where someone was talking about how every time they went live, there was a group of people that came on specifically to cause issues and report their channel and all of that. And I remembered something that mass report. Thank you, Ghost. And I remembered something Andrew said, that once somebody does that, they're like persona non grata, and you know, you can't deal with them ever again because you know, they're not dealing with you in good faith, and they just can't even, you know, just as soon as you see them, you know, you gotta get rid of them, kick them off your channel, or you know, whatever, because that's the way they operate, is they come in and mass report and all that. So, and I did not know that was a thing until just recently. I didn't know that existed, but
oh yeah, like the guy that used to own 21 conventions would do that to like Rolo and everybody else, like try to get him doxxed or like trying to like mass report his content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they try to get your channel shut down or removed.
Wow.
Or yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
like a profession too. Like they it's like these professional trollers or whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess to me, it's interesting in a couple of different ways, but but I know that CT got P-bombed last week. Really? Dang. It's really crazy that people just, you know, go around and doing that kind of stuff. I should probably be more careful. I'm going to have to start taking more steps. I noticed that Flow State especially has been really careful lately, and I probably should be more careful. I'm just not. So, guys, it's been a great conversation today. We're getting into the last like 20 minutes of the show. We're going to kind of wind down. You know, we talked a lot today about Trump and the cabinet, and you know, where, you know, then we bounced around quite a bit. We had some P Diddy stuff thrown in there. You know, it's you know, it's very very interesting. And actually, Arthur Dye, I was on a channel one time when they got a bot attack, and it was actually when people were accusing me of using bots to inflate my subscriber number, and it was very interesting. And I, first of all, don't know how to do that. Second, I had not seen it before, and I just happened to be on a channel when it happened, and I'm pretty sure I know who did it. I can't prove it, but you know, whatever. YouTube creator drama is just off the charts these days, really. But too much Imperious for it to be a great conversation. I don't know. Imperious was manageable today. You know, he kind of gets going, and you know, he certainly has his specific viewpoints, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. You know, he's allowed to do that. Mikey Ball, I only host panels in a very specific way. You notice I'm really cautious about how I do it, and so far we haven't had any issues. But I'm sure it's just, you know, it's just a matter of time. So yeah, closed panel more or less. MC Nemesis. I'll watch for that.
Oh yeah, don't let that guy on. I never let that bastard on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen him, but yeah, cool. What else can I say? I guess I should make my last obscene profit speech, guys. Folks, send in the money as you can when you can. If you can't, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. The 0.0000001% is the only safe quantity of imperious, according to the U.S. Department of Cooming Services. I mean, you're probably right. Probably right. Poor Imperious. Julie Mumford, glad that you enjoyed listening while working on your housework. That's kind of what I'm here for during the day shift. This was the day shift evolved entirely because Kevin L., who may or may not still be in the chat, was he wanted to have a daytime show to listen to because he liked the nighttime shows, but he has more time when he's working in his shop to listen. So that's it. Micro imperious can be hazardous to your mental health too. Okay. Is that like microspores? Do we know? I don't know. Clover Tack, if you're still in the chat, man, you need to hit me up, and we need to talk about getting your patch guy to do some patches for me. I'd like to solve that first of the week, and maybe before the holiday, but if not, immediately after the holiday. I got to get this stuff done. Everyone, we're definitely going to be doing all kinds of cool merch here soon. I've got to start working with some artists to do a better job than I can. And because I'm not an artist and I don't play one on TV. Yeah, we got to pay attention to all the state and local elections. We in Tennessee, we're going to have a pretty important one coming up here in a year or so, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Glenn, how what do you think? What do you think about your state and local elections there in California?
I'm actually like for a city. I'm glad. I'm happy that we got the people we got in. Me and my dad were like, yeah, we got the people that we wanted in. I think one of them goes to my dad's church anyways, which was pretty cool. So kind of happy about that. City, I'm in LA, so I'm screwed either way.
It's terrible, right?
State wise, I'm fucked either way. So
yeah, you need to get out, man. I'm surprised you're still there.
Yeah, it's
especially with your health the way it is. I would.
Well, I mean, that's one of the part of the reason, right? I can't really go far without having to go get a new doctor somewhere else, and I'm on blood thinners. I'm like, I can't even take a flight to go see you, Greg. You know that?
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, I get in the airplane. I got to worry about being compressed or the pressure and leaking blood out of my eyeballs and shit. Yeah,
Greyhound,
it's not a good look.
Friend. Greyhound.
It's not a good Greyhound. You think I would rather drive my car. I'm not going to take a car. What's wrong with you? I'd rather road trip.
And let the bus driver do the driving.
I'd rather road trip that bitch rather than being there sitting next to somebody's abuela and don't even know what the hell she's saying to me.
That's true. I've never actually taken a Greyhound, so I have no idea. I had a friend of mine that did once, though.
I did once. You
did?
Yeah. Never again.
Once was enough.
I would rather walk to Tennessee.
Yeah. All right. I'm Arthur Dye. I am trying my best to have the hats before Christmas. I actually talked to the hat maker today, and he said maybe a few before Christmas, because they're closing down for the holidays, and it's and they've got jobs in front of mine, and they're like, well, it's gonna be the holidays, and we're gonna try. I'm gonna do everything I can to get them shipped before Christmas, and we will. I'll do we'll make sure that they're I'll make sure they're cool. I got to get patches, hats, and T-shirts. We got to get those done. They'll be done shortly, guys. Hopefully before the holidays. I'm it's just the way it all works out. The holidays make everything tough this time of year. So
the holidays do make everything tough. It stresses people out.
Arthur Daya says that she will be your doctor, and you can fly with blood thinner. The bigger question is, how are your lungs doing?
Well, hey, doctor, how about you come? Never mind.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll stay away from doctors because they always want to poke, prod, and stick things in places that they don't belong.
Unfortunately, that does seem to be the case. Well, guys, folks,
especially at this age now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, folks, as a matter of fact, Glenn, before I do before I start really truly winding down, I actually have to go get a new blood test done to check my testosterone levels. Not even kidding. I have to go and because they seem to be okay, but it's that time of year. I gotta go get checked. So I thought I'd share because I know that you're a big proponent of that.
Oh man, good job. Good for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel the heart.
You're only doing a full blood panel. I mean, you're good. It's nothing.
Well, I'm doing the full blood panel, and I've got to.
They're going to do that thing. They're going to down Periscope.
Maybe.
Oh, so sorry.
It's my age, man. They're like, you gotta get this and that, and I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't.
Is this your first? Is this your first?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, I had my first at 33.
What?
Yeah, because the Crohn's, I was bleeding.
Oh, right. Yeah, you were bleeding from your bunghole.
Hey, you got to say like that.
What other way is there to say it?
There was stool, and my blood had some stool in it. You got to say I was leaking from a bunghole. I mean, although it was true, man. I feel like I was I was manstrating, but
manstrating. That's
you like that? I made that one up. Pretty good, huh?
I'm gonna use that. I am seriously gonna use that. That's too good, man. That's too good. When the next time somebody is being a bloody asshole, I'm gonna ask them if they're
Are you manstrating today? Are you on your period? Are you manstrating?
And when they ask me, what do you mean by that? I'm gonna say, are you bleeding out of your asshole? And
do you have a tampon in your booty hole?
Yeah. Do you need a tampon for your bunghole? That is great. That is great. I don't know, Viking, because we're about to end and you just happen to come in when we're winding down and just kind of goofing off. Welcome, by the way, Viking Paradigm. I may or may not be on tonight. I know there's some guys who are doing some really cool streams. I think Glenn's got a really good stream going on with Mel and a bunch of other women. It's Ladies' Night, Arthur Daya on Glenn's panel, and they're going to be talking about, what was the subject again, Glenn?
Why y'all have issues with men? What's your beef? What's the beef with the men?
What's the beef?
Yeah, what's your beef with men? Like, why are you single, or what is your problem with dating or a relationship?
Is Mel Pandora is a chick?
Yeah,
not that Mel, Mikey.
She's a real chick.
It's a different Mel. There's a lot of Mels.
Oh, you're talking about the furry? No.
The Furby. No, Furby can't come on. Furby's not a girl.
Nope. So yeah, no, it's gonna be cool.
If I get a chance, I'll be on later. I don't know. I got some stuff I need to get done, and
yeah, I'm not going on until 9 p.m. tonight Pacific. So I don't know what time.
It's like 11 o'clock my time, bro.
Yeah, wherever you are, it's your thing, and
that's like midnight for poor Arthur Daya.
Well, I mean, Arthur Daya never comes to my show anyway, so what difference does it make?
Well, it's ladies' night.
She don't care. She's not really a fan.
Not a fan.
No.
Too degenerate.
Way too degenerate.
I get that a lot. I get that she accused me of being too degenerate the other day, which we were being degenerate. I will agree. Yeah, Arthur Eyes, why can't you just stream during normal hours?
What are normal hours?
Yeah, they are his normal hours. He has work.
What are normal hours?
That's a great question.
We live in a 24-hour world, like.
Not here, man. They roll up the sidewalks at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock p.m., man. The sidewalks are rolled up. They're put away. It's done. As a matter of fact, I think the only places that are still open are the emergency rooms, just in case you're menstruating out your bunghole. Nothing?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Normal on Australian time. Is there any normal? And the word normal and Australian doesn't, those words don't compute together.
Hey, the Briar Wolf thinks I have perfect hours, so cheers to that.
Yeah. I'm sure what's his name does too. Angry Casper. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes. So,
anything else cool going on, Glenn?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be working with this radio station on their toy drive, and we'll be streaming that. That'll be fun. Some IRL content. When does that start, actually?
Holy shit, the only person on right now is Destiny. What the hell?
Oh yeah, December 12th. So December 12th, I will be working at the Power 106 toy drive here in Los Angeles, and we'll be reviewing the show, because it's a huge, not just toy drive, it's like a whole concert and everything. So we'll be live streaming from there and doing some interviews and help give these little kids some good Christmas cheer. It's that time of the year, folks. It's that time of the year,
It's
the season to be given.
Time of the year.
Yes, sir.
Why is Destiny the only person live?
Jim Bob and Jess are on too.
They're not coming up in my feed.
Well, I'll tell you.
Here, I'll how about CT? Is CT not on live right now? CT should be live.
CT's not on. Actually, I only got Jim Bob on right now.
I don't see Jim Bob.
Here, I'll drop Jim Bob's link in their private chat.
Yeah, do that. Freaking Destiny.
There you go.
Freaking Destiny. Cool. Let's go ahead and throw that in here. We'll get everybody set up for the redirect. Glenn, you want to go ahead and give us that
what?
Your final words?
My final words is I got a call coming in and I gotta let you go. Bye.
All right, see ya. Go away. Leave me alone. All right, guys. So it's been a great show today. Even if we did have Imperius up longer than you guys wanted us to. Suck it. It's okay. He's not hurting anybody. In the meantime, the chat has been great. The show was great. It's all great. We're going to raid the mighty Jim Bob. You guys come back tomorrow night for Friday night. And hopefully we'll have a good guest. If not, we'll have fun. Either way it goes. And we will... we're not raiding Destiny. We're going to have a great time. Tomorrow night, I may or may not be on somewhere else tonight. So if you see me online, come check it out. It'll be fun. In the meantime, I want you to listen to the sound of Andrew Wilson's laughter as he makes fun of Desiree. And in the meantime, be cool, wear glasses if you need them, and get off my lawn.
Yeah, I just answered your question. Can you tell me what epistemology means?
Epistemology is the study of the epistles. I mean, you can. I told me that a husband and wife is supposed to be the representation of God and the church. He said he's a husband. I asked him if he sees himself as the embodiment of God, and he said no. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what is the epistles?
The epistles are